Hi guys, welcome back. In Ahsoka Episode 5, Anakin Skywalker taught Ahsoka Tano an important lesson, yet there is still much controversy about it. Hayden Christensen's comeback as Anakin Skywalker, starring with Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka in The World Between Worlds, was understandably exciting for Star Wars fans. The scenario was purposefully vague, making it unclear whether this was Anakin's Force ghost or something in her head. In some ways, it doesn't seem to matter. What matters is that this event was genuine for Ahsoka, and it resulted in her metamorphosis into Ahsoka the Wife. In the aftermath, Ahsoka's personality evolved subtly, with Anakin's former Padawan seeming much more comfortable. But what did Ahsoka take away from Anakin? Ahsoka has never outgrown Anakin's training. In Ahsoka Episode 5, Anakin and Ahsoka are at the Siege of Mandalore. Anakin Skywalker trained Ahsoka during the Clone Wars when the entire galaxy was engulfed by battle. Jedi were no longer supposed to be peacekeepers, but rather soldiers. Anakin turned this on for Ahsoka and transformed her into a warrior because he believed it would be the most efficient method to keep her safe. Ahsoka left the Jedi because she was dissatisfied with the Council, but Anakin's lessons stuck with her. Above all, Ahsoka has evolved into a fighter. Worse, her suspicion of the Jedi Council, as well as Anakin's personal treachery and his transition into Darth Vader, have rendered her incapable of trusting anyone. Ahsoka abandoned Sabine, refused to train Grogu, and refused to assist Luke in rebuilding the Jedi. She has evolved into a single fighter, roaming the cosmos and engaging in whatever fights grab her eye. This has eventually prompted her to concentrate on the threat posed by Grand Admiral Thrawn. Ahsoka's path only led to death. In Ahsoka Episode 5, Ahsoka mirrors Anakin's Sith eyes. This approach is risky since the eventual result is obvious, as demonstrated by Ahsoka's defeat by Baylan Skoll. Putting death before life, even if it is for the greater good, will always result in death. There will always be an opponent Ahsoka cannot beat somewhere in the galaxy. Even though she strives to do what she believes she knows best, she will die alone. This is no way to live, especially in a war-torn galaxy like her own. Ahsoka continues to live as if the Clone Wars are still happening, looking for disputes to resolve and people to battle since that's all she's ever known. But if Ahsoka concentrates solely on death, she would die, and this is the attitude Anakin, whether a Force ghost or an element of Ahsoka's own psyche, had to destroy inside her. Ahsoka chose life, and as a result, she became a true Jedi. In Ahsoka Episode 5, Ahsoka wears her new white outfit. Ahsoka might have continued to live in the pleasant and familiar rhythm of Anakin's training. Instead, he provided her with the impetus she required to eventually outgrow him. Ahsoka would have chosen death over killing Anakin. Instead, she tossed aside the lightsaber, opting for life. She stopped fighting, and therefore she was no longer defined solely by battle. Ahsoka's decision here recalls Luke Skywalker's decision when he faced Darth Vader in The Return of the Jedi. Both threw down their weapons and chose life for themselves and their opponents. Anakin hinted at this when they first met. She maintained she wouldn't fight him at first, and Anakin responded that he'd heard it before. It was an allusion to Luke Skywalker, who, like Ahsoka, learned the same lesson and chose life when he put aside his lightsaber. The change in attire symbolizes Ahsoka's decision to choose life over death and marks the beginning of her metamorphosis from Ahsoka the Grey to Ahsoka the White. When she awakens, she is even shown without her headgear, implying that this is a form of rebirth. Ahsoka has finally liberated the former Jedi Padawan from the weight of the Clone Wars and her past failures and betrayals. She has made the decision to live rather than fight to the death. She's already learned to trust the unknown, having allowed the Purgil to transport her and Huyang without knowing where they're headed, a power she manifested when she first touched the Force. Hopefully, Ahsoka will now break free from her stoicism and seek peace for herself and the galaxy due to Anakin Skywalker's instructions in The World Between Worlds. Thanks for watching.